Welcome back, everybody, to the SuperFunPack Moviecast. Today we're going to be talking about...
Baby Driver.
Yeah, oh my god, I forgot the name.
Yeah, did we just have this problem last week with Foreigner too?
Yeah.
No, or Forgotten. It was Forgotten, not Foreigner.
Yeah.
Foreigner's a Jackie Chan movie.
It was Baby Driver. Man, my brain is fizzling out.
Yeah.
There's too many movies coming in and too many movies going out.
There's a lot of movies also from like last year that I still haven't seen, so we're slowly trying to watch those. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's pretty insane.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess Baby Driver, right? We're still
Yeah.
sticking with that format. We're not going to be doing news or anything.
Yeah.
Let us know if you want it back, but I'm actually kind of digging this, just getting right into the movie.
Yeah, I am too. I'm really digging the movie review in itself.
Yeah. So quick thing about Baby Driver. We're in a big disagreement because
Yeah.
I really wanted to watch it last summer. If you remember, I was like, I want to see it, but we just saw everything kept happening. We just didn't get the time to see it. We just never saw it. So I was like really into it. Chris, you had no opinion. You were just like, okay, sure, we'll watch it. I know the director. I know his style. So we finally got to watch it, and boy, the first half, I didn't like it. It wasn't for me.
Yeah, see, I like that artistic style. I like movies that take a chance and get artistic, but nail it. Not in spoiler. We're gonna be talking about Atomic Blonde later, but this one, it's clear Edgar Wright. It's so Edgar Wright that if you don't like any of his movies because of his style,
I like his movies though, right? Like list his movies.
Shaun of the Dead,
Mm-hmm.
Hot Fuzz,
Mm-hmm.
World's End,
Mm-hmm.
Baby Driver.
Mm-hmm.
But each of these movies are something he hasn't done before and just does it.
Right. So I liked all those movies you listed except Baby Driver. So this movie was extremely artistic. So it was extremely artistic in the first half of the movie, right?
Yeah.
And then once the plot kind of started and the action of the film started taking over, that artisticness didn't go away. It just had to get more subdued, right? I guess that's what I would say. Like subdued. It didn't go away. He kept his style. But for me, the movie was so artistically heavy. Like, it was trying to be cool and artistic so much so that it wasn't cool and artistic, and instead it just took away from the movie instead of adding towards it. Like, obviously, as people can tell from the commercial, music in Baby Driver is a big part of it. The main character listens to music all the time.
It's the main driving force of the movie.
Yeah, he's got a hearing. He's got tinnitus, so he hears a constant ringing in his ear. So he always listens to music to kind of drown out the sound. So obviously music is a huge part of this film, which I was expecting that. But everything was done to music. Some of the speaking was done rhythmically to the music. The way the choreography was done, it was choreography and not just step here, step here. It was actually felt like dancing at some point because it was so musically entwined. He did things like, the director, like putting parts of the lyric on graffiti in the street.
Yeah.
And I saw all of that and noticed all of it right away. So it actually kept taking me out of the story so much that I couldn't focus on the fucking story. It was like, okay, there's baby. Oh, he's singing a song. Oh, look, the lyrics are there. Oh, the dancing. Oh, they're moving. Why is everything to a rhythm? Why are they talking in rhyme? What is happening? And then instead of just sitting there and going like, what's happening in the plot and getting absorbed into it, I was noticing these, I don't know what the fuck you call them, thematic things that the director tried to do.
Yeah.
And it was distracting towards me. But you, on the other hand, liked it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it just because of the fact that I'm a stickler for visuals, and like seeing the lyrics being put in the background, seeing like baby pretend he's playing a piano and the piano's playing in the song that's overlaying everything. I like how every gunshot in the movie was a part of the rhythm, a part of the beat. Like, it felt like it was all a part of the storytelling, not just the characters saying their lines and explaining what's going on. It just felt like everything was about this. Like the whole world was all musically had music revolving around it, and I find that cool. Like even in movie trailers, they do that, and it's cool.
I mean, it's cool, but I don't think it was done well. It took me out of it. Like, it could have been done. He went, I think, the director, Edgar Wright, I think he went too far to the extreme. I think if he pulled back a little bit, even having, like, the lyrics everywhere, even if he'd done a different font, so it wasn't so bright, a little bit more subdued, so it was still there. All those elements that you like were still there, even the kid playing the piano. Everything could have still been done that way, but if they just pulled back a little bit, I think it took away from the story. I think that they had some interesting characters, but I don't think they were allowed to be interesting characters because you were so distracted by everything that was happening in the scene. Not just one or two things was happening in a scene. So much was happening in every scene that you couldn't focus on the most important part, which is the characters, because no matter what you want to say, artistic piece, whatever, film, which is the medium he's working in, is a completely human-driven medium. And it's about characters, and it's about the characters on the screen. And I don't think he took the time to step back and say, am I letting the characters tell the story in this world that I want to set it in, which is to music and all that crap? Or am I getting overwhelmed? And I think his film got overwhelmed, especially at the beginning.
See, when you were saying that that movies are about the character, not really. Not every movie is about the character.
Name a movie that's not about the character.
Fuck.
It's literally about people going through things. Like,
that's some major stories, but not every major story.
No, that's literally what film is. And that's what theater is. That's what film has always been. It's human beings. I don't care what you want to say. Vampires, werewolves, whatever. Humans, people, living creatures, in specific situations. Nothing even has to happen, but it's about the human experience. Even in some fantastical way. It's all a human experience. And so when we're watching things, we as the audience, I don't care who you are, you're still looking for the human element. You're looking to connect with a character. You're looking to follow a character. Like, you can make it some avant-garde thing. People are still going to look for that human part because that's what people do as audience members. So the trick is to tell a good story. I don't care if the story is just a guy waiting on the bench, like Waiting for Godot, two guys waiting on a bench, right? I don't care if that's just the story. Everything else then is how you choose to tell that story, right? Your lighting, your costuming, your music, all of that. And Edgar Wright wanted to tell a really interesting story with his lighting, his music, his costuming, his choreography, and his timing. That's what was really important for him, which I can appreciate. But what I'm saying is, it took away from the characters, which, as most audience members come for, we come to watch the characters, and we come to watch the plot, and we come to watch the story. And everything else, for especially most people, it's just the added bonus, right? But if the added bonuses take over everything else, then it's not a good story. If you don't like it, you can't enjoy it. As someone who watches a lot of film, I can understand what he was trying to do, and I can appreciate it. But I can still say if he had pulled back just a little bit, he could have done everything he wanted to and connected to a wider audience.
But maybe he wasn't trying to go for a wider audience. Maybe he was going for the people who follow his work.
If he was trying to not go for a wider audience, why release it in a huge theater? He could have released it at independent film festivals. He didn't. It was released nationwide in all the theaters everywhere. Because he was trying to reach a wider audience, and that excuse of, I wasn't trying to reach a wider audience, is dumb. That's someone backtracking. I mean, you're a filmmaker. That's dumb to say, I was only trying to reach a particular thing. No, the goal of a filmmaker, an author, a playwright is to reach a wide audience, to connect to multiple people on different playing fields. And that, to be able to reach that many people is a sign of a good author, a good director, and a good playwright. That excuse of, I'm only trying to reach a niche group, means that you're bad. That's what that means. Because I don't care what type of piece you want to do, you should be able to reach everybody. That's why things like the Hamilton play?
Yeah, I've never seen it.
It's a twist on American history, right? Where he made all, essentially, the beginning of America, but from I guess minorities' point of view, right?
Yeah.
But he made it so well that everyone wants to watch it. But you could have said he could have done it in such a way that it was only made for black people or it was only made for Asian people, but he didn't. It was made for everyone. Or even Black Panther, which is a black and African-centered movie. They made that movie inclusive, though, because you don't have to be black, Hispanic, Asian to enjoy it. It's just a good film on its own while having good messages for black people, right? But if they made the film so inclusive to only Africans, only black people, and then they said, well, we're just trying to be inclusive only to these people, and then you would say, no, that's a bad movie, you did a bad job.
See, when I see this movie and I look at these characters, I think each character has something about them. There's something there for, I think, everyone. You got your Bonnie and Clyde. Like, that's, what's his name? Darling
and Buddy.
Yeah. And then you got your sociopath, which is Bats. And then you got your good-hearted kid who's just in the wrong place, but has the skill to get everyone by, which is Baby himself. And then you got the orchestrator of the whole thing. I forget his name.
Doc?
Yeah, it's Doc, right? And you get all these things incorporated with this heist movie. It's not really a heist movie. You don't really see the heist go down and stuff like this. It's more like a getaway movie.
Well, it's called Baby Driver, so it's about Baby.
Yeah.
The movie is about Baby. But who's Baby?
Baby is a kid that lost his parents and got put in the life of crime, not unknowingly, but unfortunately.
But see, this is the whole thing. Baby is ill-defined. The main character of this film is Baby. It's called Baby Driver. And he's nothing. He's nothing. You're supposed to see growth of a character, right? And be like, oh, okay, he changed, whatever. But he didn't, because he knew his entire time that he didn't want to be doing what he was doing. He never wanted to do this, guys, right? You can see that from the first 5 seconds of the film. He's not there because he wants to be. Like, he doesn't grow or change. I mean, you could say he grew some balls, maybe, but he didn't really, because what happened was he got put in a predicament where
it was a fight or flight scenario.
Yeah, it wasn't that he chose to change. It wasn't that he chose to become someone different. It's not that he chose to rise above.
Because he was always a good person.
Yeah, he was always good. So he didn't change. So, like, this film was lacking in Baby. It's called Baby. If you wanted a film that wasn't, like, there was an ensemble cast, and it wasn't about one character, shouldn't have been called Baby Driver. But it was. And the film's trailers and everything made it seem like it's going to be about this one kid, right?
Yeah.
Baby. But if a film's about one kid, he has to go through some change. I don't care if the plot's amazing and he goes through all this stuff physically. Films, plays, it should be about the character changing or growing. So it's like, a character's like this, something happens and the character has to change and go through all this crap. Which physically he does, but emotionally, I guess in the end he's like, I still did it, so I deserve to get in trouble. That's what his conclusion was. I don't get it.
His conclusion was that he can't run away anymore. His main thing
he was never running away.
He was always running away.
What do you mean he was running away?
Like, every problem he had, he could just move fast and go faster and escape. Right?
Except for what he did in the beginning, which is why he is a driver, and he couldn't run away from that. So he didn't.
He couldn't run away from his life of crime. Right?
Yeah, so he's stuck with it.
So, but at the end of the movie, shit, we're already going into spoilers, but like at the end of the movie,
we'll be talking for like 20 minutes. I think that's fine, guys.
So
also, it's been out for like a year.
Yeah. So at the end of the movie, he's escaping. He escaped the police. He's just trying to get away. He's just trying to drive, nowhere to go. Just keep moving, running away.
Yeah.
His change was the fact that he realized he can't run anymore. He's always been about running away, escaping the issue, not confronting the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Even throughout everything, like being the driver, his main thing is to escape the police, escape the crime he's done without getting caught. At the end of the movie, he killed Buddy and everyone like this, and then like...
Wow, you're really going for spoilers.
I opened up the end and I'm fucking going through it. So at the end, he's just like, I can't run. Because if I keep running, now Deborah is in danger. She's an accomplice. She's going to be...
Right, so he realized he can't run.
So
that was his change.
His character arc was, this character can't run away from his problems anymore.
Okay. Good character change. I don't know. I mean, when you say
like, I agree that they should have...
I agree what you're saying. He changed. But it wasn't a big enough change to execute an entire movie. Like, I don't know. Like, it's kind of what you said before. We were talking about The Walking Dead, and Chris says you can't have a good character in a movie because they're boring.
Yeah.
He was a good character who was boring to watch. And then he got overshadowed by his own...
By the ensemble cast.
But
Everyone
was overshadowed by the ensemble. He was overshadowed by the director's choice in music, in color. I mean, even the doc had a particular way of talking in, like, rhymes.
Yeah.
Then in every scene, you didn't even pay attention to the baby. You were paying attention to this guy talking, because he talked so rhythmically that you were just like, he's talking. Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like, if it wasn't called Baby Driver, it's fine. But it was, and everything about this movie was not Baby.
If they called it even Driver, it would be a little better.
It would be a little better, but it was called Baby Driver, and so it was, like, annoying. And, like...
And they do hammer home that, like, they're like, oh, there's songs that talk about you or whatever. And they're like, what's your name? Baby? B-A-B-Y? Baby? He's like, yeah, so every song's about you. And then the title of the movie, yeah, it's about Baby. But I feel like there is problems with the movie. I think I just had fun with it. I enjoyed it for what it is, and I like it. It's not going to be like my top 10 movies. Mm-hmm. It's going to be up there, but not top 10.
Yeah.
But I like what they did. I like the characters that they show. I like Bats. I like Darling. I like Buddy. I like Doc.
I didn't like any of them. Bats was the only one who I thought was interesting because he played foil to Baby.
Yeah.
That was it. Darling was boring. She was a nothing. Nobody. Buddy was boring, a nothing and a nobody. Doc, nothing and nobody, whose character flop at the end made no sense.
Yeah, his face turn at the end made no sense.
His face turn?
Yeah, it's a wrestling term where it's a bad guy going to good guy.
Okay, yeah, that made no sense. But even Babe, Darling, and Buddy, they were non-characters. They weren't. They were nobody. And nothing. Bats was a complete foil to Baby. That was the interesting part.
He's supposed to be the foil to Baby, but Bats and Darling are oddly the parental figures for Baby.
Bats and Darling?
Buddy and Darling, sorry.
Yes, they help him, but they're boring characters to watch. I don't care what happens to them. I mean, this is all I'm saying. In a film, you should care about the characters. I didn't care about any of them. You know, the only one I did care about was Deborah, and the only reason why I cared about her is because I go, oh god, not a fucking other damsel in goddamn distress. That was it. I had no connection to her. She was super boring. What were we supposed to like about her? Oh, she's an eccentric girl who works in a diner. Okay. There's a lot of people who work in diners. Why should I care about this person? Oh, she's got a name Deborah. You should love her. What? Also, I don't know why I have an accent. Sorry.
You always throw an accent in somewhere.
But like,
next week will be the southern accent.
These characters were so dull, but they were also so like hyperbole that you thought they'd be better. So it's like they're all so extravagant. So when you first watch them, you go, "These are incredibly crazy characters." But when you really look at them, you go, "No, they're not. They're extremely flat characters. It's just the way they're presented. They come off as ooh, but they're not." Like, every character in this movie is very, like, monotone.
So, you're feeling like this movie was just all flash, no substance?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. And that's why I was getting mad when I was watching it, because I was waiting. And I was like, okay, maybe it's artsy and all that crap, but maybe there's going to be something beneath that. That it's really fun, that it's going back to the whole Forgotten that we watched last week, where I was saying, you know why I liked it is because I kept chewing on it and thinking about the interplay between the characters and all this crap. There's nothing interesting about this that I can't keep mulling over. Black Panther I really liked because I kept thinking about afterwards, like their society and the culture and who Black Panther was. Thor was really interesting because Hela was so interesting. I wanted to keep thinking about her.
But with these characters, you had nothing to connect with.
Nothing to connect with and nothing to keep mulling over. And I think the reason why that happened is because this film was so distracted by, I guess, sniffing their own farts a little bit. Look at me, I'm making a cool film with music and all this cool music that none of you know because you guys are all in your 20s watching this and you probably never heard of any of these songs. But I'm cool because I'm going to connect with the older generation. Yeah. And look, it's all to music and the beat. And you're like, okay, cool, I get it. It's very artistic. And I admire people for doing that because it takes a lot of skill. But the other hand, if you do all of that, I think it's exactly what I was saying. He was like character or cool artisticness, and they dropped the character.
And you hit the mic.
I always hit the mic, guys.
Record time.
But well, it's because this fucking mic's here. If we moved and had a different corner and the mic was on the side, I could talk.
Yeah.
I bought another table explicitly to do that. But yeah, I think they just dropped the ball with the characters and the plot, and I think this is a big trend that you and I have been seeing with a lot of movies, in that it's all flash, and they keep forgetting the fundamental thing, which is go back to the script. This is back to basic theater 101, guys. You read the script. You understand the subtext of the script, and the job of the director is to bring that subtext to the audience.
Yeah.
And he did not do that. And that's why I think it was a bad movie. Will I watch it again? No. There's nothing for me to watch. I don't want to watch it again. I don't think I'm going to get anything else out of it. In fact, I wanted to stop watching it when I was watching it. So.
See, like, with me, it tickled the cinematographer in me. Like, I like seeing the camera panning. I like seeing the dynamic shots they were getting. I like seeing the artisticness of the film. But like, hearing what you're saying about the story, the story is extremely flat. And like, I had fun with it, but I had fun with it not from a character story-driven aspect. I had it from a cinematography aspect. I liked seeing everything blend together when it comes down to action, sound, camera work, even clothing choices. I was like, oh, that's really cool. But like, I think as a story, this movie does not work.
This is what confuses me. You keep saying, like, as a cinematographer and blah, blah, blah. Like, look at the Oscars, right?
Yeah.
You get all these movies that, let's face it, no one watches fucking Oscar movies, okay? Most people have never seen any of them.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Who actually watches the Oscar movies? No one. Because they're boring.
I've seen a few,
but I usually watch them as everyone goes, go watch it. So I watch it. Like, I'm sorry, guys. King's Speech.
I haven't seen that.
That was boring. It was long. Boring.
Like
everyone's like, oh, it's so good. I'm like, good acting does not mean boring acting.
Like, out of all the Oscar movies I've seen, you could kind of see where my mindset goes. It's like Dark Knight, Lion King, Star Wars.
Which Star Wars?
Episode 4.
Okay.
Saving Private Ryan, I really like.
I like Saving Private Ryan. Yeah, it's long.
But all those movies, all those Oscar movies have great cinematography. They actually have really good acting. Everything works for the story.
But for a movie to be good, everything has to work.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. There's a lot of movies that have really good scripts, but maybe they don't have the director or the actors to bring it to life. So it's a bad movie. You're like, but the script's really good. You're like, but it's still a bad movie. Because the problem with film is that there's so many elements that have to come together to make it good.
Yeah.
Right? Like a play is a little easier in a way because you're kind of stuck a little bit more in that stage area.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a normal, I forgot what it's called, but you don't have like a circle stage. You only have 180.
Yeah.
I know for you to work for. So it takes out a dynamic that they have to work with in film, and so it's very hard. So I don't know. I guess my problem is I'm tired of films that are all flash getting all this credit because they're like, ooh, they're flashy, but I'm like, but flashy isn't good. If I'm not interested in it, I don't want to watch it. And also, just because it's a sad movie, okay, let's take Manchester by the Sea. Have you seen it?
No.
Alright, I'm gonna. Got all these awards, but it was a depressing ass fucking movie. I remember crying at the end of it. But even walking away from it, it wasn't good. Like, just because it's sad and it's a human story doesn't mean it's good. I would never want to rewatch it.
Yeah.
It's not a movie that I want to own. And that's where I think, especially award people and stuff, get wrong. They're like, it's a good story, tells a good thing. I'm like, okay, but movies, especially movies, they should be rewatchable. They should be something that you want to share with people. And they should be something that you want to talk about afterwards.
Yeah.
Right. And so if I watch a movie, I haven't seen like Moonlight. I haven't seen it, so I can't talk about it. But just from what I've seen it's about, it looks like one of those movies where it's boring and you're going to cry and you're going to hate the world for it. But it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to want to rewatch it. Doesn't mean you're going to want to talk about it. You know, it doesn't mean you're actually going to be sitting there enjoying it. And probably it's going to be one of those movies where you're like, oh God, there's 30 minutes left and it's so sad. What's going to happen at the end? But not where you're like, you don't even realize the time's passing. So like this movie was good in that it was flashy, it was really cool, they used a lot of skills. But I would kind of call this like a high school project on steroids. And like, they were almost there, but not quite right. Because the kid was so focused on me, like, look at all the techniques I know how to do. And didn't realize sometimes you just got to take one thing out to make it so much better. That's how I feel. I mean, obviously you and I feel differently.
Yeah, but I completely agree with everything you just said there. Like, that's the thing that grabbed me. I like seeing all that.
Oh, the light went out. I was like, what the fuck happened?
But I like seeing all that cool shit. But if I rewatch the movie and I'm like, alright, let's go by the acting. The actors are doing what they're doing. But alright, let's go by the characters now. The characters are very lackluster.
Yeah.
But overall, I had fun with this movie. If you like watching Edgar Wright films, you should give it a shot.
Not really. Like I think it's completely different from all his other films. I liked his other films. That's the funny part. I love Shaun of the Dead. I liked Hot Fuzz a lot. End of the World was okay. Just because I wasn't studying. I don't drink beer or anything, so I couldn't connect with them on that. Oh, we're gonna go hang out and reminisce, but I still liked it. But this one, I was like, nah. So
that's like I'm saying. If you're like a fan of his movies, give it a shot. If you don't like it, then you're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
If you do, you will. I had fun with it. You obviously did not.
But I liked the end. The action was. I liked the action because it gave me something gripping and like what's gonna happen, how's he gonna get away with it, and that was only literally the last like 20 minutes, guys.
So, let us know what you thought of the film. I guess it's gonna be like a 50-50 with us. You're gonna like it or you're not. But let us know what you liked about the movie. If you hated it, if you thought the camera angles were cool. Camera went out again.
But only for like a second?
For a few seconds.
Yeah, guys, if anyone knows how OBS keeps just stop recording. Like, randomly.
It's weird.
Like this time it recorded almost the entire time and then stopped right at the end.
It's like we have a 30-minute window.
Yeah.
Anyway, so tell us what you think. If you like it, if you don't, check us out at SuperFunPack.com. You could always look at our Let's Plays on YouTube and look at all of our content on YouTube. We also put up a new video talking about our friend Trevor Goody's fight coming up on April 14th, right?
Yep.
Cage Titans at Plymouth, Mass.
The amateur championship at, I forgot what weight. Is it welterweight?
I think it's middleweight.
No. 165.
Yeah, I think it's welterweight.
Yeah, welterweight. He's going to be fighting for the championship. It's going to be 5 rounds. It's going to be a rematch between someone that he's
fought before.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be April 14th in Plymouth Memorial Hall in Massachusetts. So go ahead, look up our interview on that if you're interested. Share the news. Let's get a big crowd out there for him and support local fighters, guys.
Yeah. And goodbye.
Peace.